Did you want to talk about body count? It sounded like you had an objection to the body count thing.
I did? Wait.
Like men having a preference for body count?
You did make one offhand comment, but I'm not sure what you meant by it.
I mean, to me, like, body count isn't important, personally.
Okay.
So.
Go around the table on this.
How do I feel about body count? Is that?
Yeah.
I guess.
So.
I wasn't really sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, as a girl, I feel like if I'm dating somebody, body count doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like the more experience they have, that like maybe the better they are. I don't really know. I can't really talk on that topic, seeing that I have 0.
Oh yeah. Personally, I do think it matters, and also for both genders. I think body count does matter for both.
Would you say that it's like the same number for both genders, or?
No, I think no, not exactly the same. Oh, not exactly the same, but like, I do think it's hypocritical for guys to like shame women for having a high body count if they think they can also have a high body count. Like they expect women to have a low body count when they themselves don't have one. Like, I think that's very hypocritical.
You want me to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I agree that body count definitely matters for both men and women. It absolutely matters because it affects your ability to pair bond and have long-term relationships. As someone with a 0 body count, I would be entitled to expect that out of a partner, but I don't. I definitely understand why it's more important to men, though, because of the biological differences between men and women. I think that having a high body count for a woman, it's definitely more detrimental to her ability to have a long-term relationship than it would be for a man, just because they're more able to dissociate sex from intimacy, from emotions. Now, that's a bad thing if you do dissociate those two things. Like, men absolutely shouldn't do that, but they're just more able to do that than women are, just based on our biology. But yeah, what do you say? You were gone.
Oh, I don't care.
Body count.
Yeah, no, I picked up
If
on that.
if a guy were to have like
yeah.
a 3-digit body count, I definitely would think that's a red flag. I would not date a guy.
300 is excessive.
If they're,
Not
yeah,
even
I don't-
300.
Yeah,
Just like
that's kind of crazy.
that's insane. Even 2 digits. 2 digits is like.
yeah, even that is a lot. It's like above average.
Yeah.
I don't think I answered your question. You asked, like, do you think, like, or I think, no, like, oh, sorry, what's your friend? I think you asked me something.
Yeah, I was asking
don't
you,
think I answered
like, if you think, so if a high body count for a girl was like 3 or whatever, do you think it would be the same number for a guy too?
And I know in my specific case, I've only been with one dude.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not gonna, like, reject a guy for having, like, 2 body counts simply because it's more than mine. I think it depends, like, has he slept with multiple women because he's dated that many women? I can get by that to a certain extent, but if he's just hooked up with multiple women, then I wouldn't go for someone like that. Like, if he's just doing it.
I would not date a girl who has a high body count.
What do you say is high?
I mean, depends on the age, but I mean, definitely over 10 is high.
I'm pretty sure I looked
Preferably-
into this. The average for women is like lifetime. That's if you're counting all the generations, is 5.
That's some old statistics right there. Shit.
It includes the older generations, which is why it's lower. If you looked at the different age demographics, I'm sure younger women have a higher average. But for women total lifetime, it's 5. For men total lifetime, it's like 8 average.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, high body count. Obviously, it's the lower the better, you know?
It's a good answer. The lower the better.
The lower the better. I
Yeah.
mean, 5 is better than 7. 3 is better than 5. 1's better than 3. 0 is better than 1. So, the lower the better, I'd say, generally speaking.
Me too.
You too? You prefer a
Yeah.
guy with a low body count, or?
Yeah, lower, because I
Really?
do know that like when you're hooking up a lot, it's taking something out of you every time. So I would like to
Yeah.
have the maximum emotional capacity.
I would say if a guy had a past with porn addiction, that would be a lot more of a serious concern to me than if he had a body count that's on the higher end.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Because at least if he was hooking up with women, he has to still like reckon with them as a human being and interact with them, and at least it proves that he had the ability to make women like him even for a limited temporary period of time.
Well, I think like socializing and going out is
It's
good
part of it,
because
yeah.
you have to do that. But when it comes to hooking
are
up,
bad.
like if you're horny, I would say go masturbate, and that's going to be better for you. Spend more time with
I
yourself and not
disagree.
just hook up with a random person because you're horny.
I disagree. I just think both are bad, and I think women have been shamed out of having a standard in regard to men using pornography, and that's really wrong.
Word.
Like, oh, if you're not okay with your boyfriend or husband watching pornography, you must be insecure. Like, I've seen that so much, and they direct it at men when they prefer a woman with a lower body count.
No, I would not be okay. Like if we watched porn together, that's fine with me if we watch porn together. But if
Well,
he's
obviously
in the
it's okay
other
with you,
room,
you make porn.
if he's
so-
in the other room watching porn, though, I would think
A lot
that's
of
like
the
we're
men-
not healthy in
but
our
a lot
relationship.
of the men that are your paying customers are the guy who is in a relationship who is watching porn in another room.
How do you know that?
A lot of them are probably single as well, but just like looking at the numbers, like that's definitely true for a big portion of the men who give you money on OnlyFans. They're the guy in a relationship who is retreating to pornography instead of having to deal with real intimacy. And I think that is destructive, extremely destructive to relationships.
But
Okay, porn bad. I don't think you guys are going to come to an agreement on that, but we get it. Porn bad. We need to wrap up here pretty soon. So, Fally, hey Brian, thought it was odd that you have anyone on the panel who's never been in a relationship. Supposed I assumed you were required to have past relationships to be on the show. It's definitely refreshing because I've never been in a relationship either. Hey Fally, maybe you should shoot your shot. I don't know, but